Go. Hello everyone and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. It is Monday, Memorial Day here in the United States, May the 27th, 2019, and we are here for show number 78. Let's go! Always get really excited during these major tournaments, really do. I know some people hound me about saying let's go so much, but that's what I do. That's how I get down. Let's go! Still undefeated in fantasy team. We're going to get into that in a minute. And so is Dusan Dramikanin. So I'm coming for you too, Dusan. Coming for you too, bro. Let's go. All right, so we're here for the second day of Roland Garros IE French Open action. And once again, there is a lot to discuss, so let's just jump right in. You ready? Carly, you ready?
Ready.
Let's do it. So please like and subscribe to our channel, and thanks so much to all of you for making this show happen. We must reiterate, if it were not for you, then this show, what we do, would not be possible. We would still just be arguing amongst one another in the kitchen or in the living room. But thank you very much for tuning in because you guys make this show happen. All right?
And on the second week, I'm going to learn, I don't know about him, but I will learn some French words.
Yeah, we found a really inexpensive Rosetta Stone copy of the French language, so we're going to try to start playing that so we can get some French words in to the show within the next 2 weeks. I think I have some numbers already. Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq. I think that's like 1 through 5. But I got something. Bonjour, bonjour.
I think we'll say...
Très bien.
No, I think we'll do the welcome in French, and maybe the bye in French as well.
We're going to get it done.
Right. If Nadal can do it, we can.
Yeah, I mean, geez.
No? No, like he always says, no.
Well, what I'm hoping is I run out onto the court like Nadal does, you know, and he bangs his head like he did at the U.S. Open, and then bangs his head.
You mean at Wimbledon?
Oh, was it Wimbledon?
He lost against
he was getting warmed up and bang.
Yeah.
He banged his head into the ceiling, and then I think he banged his head again today into a camera.
Yeah, that one could have been awful. That could have been a real... I've had my head cut open twice, and it's not a good thing. It can happen easily.
I'm thinking that with all the capital and all the team members of Nadal's team, that someone would say, look, bro, you got to watch where you're going, dude. I mean, you're like banging your head everywhere you go.
Especially on his bald spot. I mean, it's like, geez, his head was that close to being cut again.
All right, moving forward, a quick update on the 2 prize giveaways for this year's French Open. We have a total of 5 bets going on in different ways, shapes, or form, but we have 2 prize giveaways for this tournament specifically, so we're going to touch on those real quick. All right, for the tennis racket giveaway, again, the Wilson 100S countervail with a 4 1/4 grip, slightly used. My son used it for about 3 months. That I will string with YTEX Strings. Everyone is still intact there. The goal was to pick your 2 men's finalists for the French Open, the 2 women's finalists, and pick your winners, and whoever has the most, with the minimum qualifications being at least 3 finalists and 1 winner. Everyone is still intact. All the applicants, everyone is still intact. I was a little worried that Carla and I, having been the only 2 people that chose Serena in the final or to win after having lost the first set today.
I told you that I wasn't even sweating that.
Against a girl that had beaten her before.
Not beaten her before, played her before at the U.S. Open.
Played her before, didn't beat her, but they were familiar with one another, and I think Serena dropped the first set 6-2 or 2-6, and then
2-6,
and then came out victorious. Yes. I was a little worried about that one.
Not me, because it's the first match. You come out a bit rusty, and she hasn't played much, so I wasn't worried.
So everyone is still in on the tennis racket giveaway. No one has lost a winner.
Yes, no one has. But that Petra Kvitova withdrawal.
There was one person. Stimpy Boy lost Kvitova because she withdrew, and we're going to talk about Kvitova withdrawing. And Furzy 09 was one that caught it while a lot of us were still asleep, and because a lot of us had Kvitova. We couldn't allow Furzy 09, much love to you, one of the OG viewers. He messaged us in the wee hours of the morning, said Kvitova had withdrawn, and he wanted to change players. And kind of, in the middle of sleep, seeing that, okay, and then we woke up and realized that so many people had her, and not anyone or no one knew, not even ourselves, before the match started, that the lucky loser had replaced.
Right. When I saw the message, the matches already had started, but he had messaged me hours before. But most of us in the United States are still sleeping, or some people are not paying attention. They're just not.
Yeah, that was a tough one. We let Felix Auger-Aliassime be replaced because we were able to do a show and announce it. But this one was, it was something that
a few hours. She pulled out a few hours before the match. She withdrew due to an injury left forearm hours before the match, so it's not enough.
It wasn't enough time for everyone to have a fair shot. Just so you know, Carla had Kvitova, I did not. So, it didn't affect me too very much, but it affected 5 or 6 other people. So, it was the fairest way to move forward. So, Stimpy Boy lost one of his finalists, but if he gets 3 of the other finalists, he's still in as well. All right, so a quick update for the fantasy team selections. If you're new to this channel, before this tournament started, we wanted everyone to select 8 players on the men's side and 8 players on the women's side. 5 only being in the top 20. So 5 men, 5 women in the top 20, and your other 3 had to be outside of the top 20. There are only two, uno, dos, little Spanish, little French. Only 2 that are still undefeated at this point. Number 1 is Dusan Dramakanin, and number 2 is me. Let's go! Tell you what, came to win this tournament. Even though clay is my worst surface of match predictions, but it looks like right now Dusan and I will be going head-to-head, but it doesn't matter. I mean, when you lose a player in the first round, it makes no difference this early on. So don't worry if you've lost a player. You still have a lot of time to do a lot of damage, all right? So, Dusan, I'm coming for you, bro. Hope you're ready. Don't plan to lose, all right? The other 3 bets that Carla and I have ongoing, 2 of them are just fun bets that Carla and I put out there for, I guess, overall entertainment or enjoyment. One was Carla has a personal bet with Rajesh Kumar, longtime viewer. Carla bet him that Novak Djokovic would not win the French Open. If that does happen or does not happen, one of these 2 will be doing something quite entertaining on this show. Count on it. Number 2, I have a personal bet with Anis Zizou, another longtime viewer. I bet him that Roger Federer would win the French Open. He bet that he would not, and if one way, shape, or form one of those happens and does not, inevitably it will, then I will be doing something quite odd here on this show as well. So we could...
You have more of a chance of doing the bet than I do. Because...
So we could both be doing some quite entertaining show, the first show after the French Open.
Right.
Could be quite fun. All right, the last ongoing giveaway that we have has been going on long before this tournament started, and that was the most points accumulated by a man or a male player on the ATP throughout the entire clay court season.
Right.
Okay? So that's something we've had ongoing since like Stuttgart, Monte Carlo, Barcelona, and the like.
And Madrid and so on.
Yeah, so after this tournament ends, we will accumulate the points of the ATP players throughout the clay court season, kind of what they do for the U.S. Open Series as we run up to the U.S. Open. So we will do that and award prizes to whoever chose the correct player for that. All right? By the way, this is a tease for Wimbledon that's upcoming, and it starts, middle July, I think, something like that, middle of July, somewhere in there, late July. That I won't lose in Wimbledon. I will not lose. So when we do our prize giveaways for Wimbledon, I hope everyone does a lot of study, Carla especially, because I plan to not get beat at Wimbledon. My fantasy team won't be beaten, and my finalists and winners won't be beaten. Anybody want to try? Hope so. Be ready for Wimbledon, my favorite time of the year. All right? Carla, let's get right into the French Open draws and results, men's and women's, from today.
Well, before I get to that, I had Sister to Queen who sent me a message. She is going to the French Open on Friday, she said. So she'll get to see Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer. I hope you take a lot of pictures for us and send it to us at 5ktennis@mail.com.
glad to hear from you, Sister to Queen, a fellow Californian as myself. I hope everything's on the up and up out there out west. And please send us some pictures from Paris and Roland Garros. We would love to see them. Hope you have safe travels. And thank you for touching base. We haven't heard from you in a while. So let's get right into the women's draws and men's draws. If you missed yesterday's show, the first part of the first round, you can check that out on our playlist for the French Open. And you can see all of our videos. I think there's 250 plus right here on this channel as well. So let's get right into women's results, starting with the top half of the draw from today.
Well, let's start with Serena Williams from the USA, your 10th seed, who defeated Vitalia Djachenko from Russia, 2-6, 6-1, 6-0. Serena came out with, I would say, a very fashionable outfit showing her obliques. She looked to be in a lot better shape. I guess she wanted to let her, how would you say it? Her big fan base or her booers, how would you say that?
I guess what Carla...
How would you say that?
I guess what Carla is trying to say is that since Serena has been back from childbirth, she has been blasphemed for wearing a catsuit. She has been blasphemed for wearing this or wearing that when people have, I guess, indicated that she was not fit enough to do so. Well, I can assure everyone one thing. Even though I didn't care for her outfit,
I didn't like the outfit.
I've never been fond of wearing black attire on a tennis court. You know, it's such a bright and vibrant sport. Black on the court, the color on a tennis outfit, it's just not for me.
I like black. I disagree with you with that.
I don't care for it.
I just think it should be more of a French Open theme, and you know, Nike went with black and flowers, but she did something a little bit different. It was a shorter shirt. It was showing her midsection, and her skirt had a slit on the side. I mean, she did look fitter. Her thighs looked better. Her abs looked better. Her arms looked better.
Now
her game didn't look good on the first set. I could tell she was a bit rusty, but then we got the Serena we usually see.
Now, I must say that Serena, again, I've followed since she was a young girl. I've never seen her calf muscles on her legs, her lower leg muscles or calves, look as thin as they have. So that was a little worrisome for me, but I think the outfit was basically what you were getting at, is a message to all of her fans or non-fans that, hey, look at my stomach, I'm back in shape, even though my first set was shaky, even though my calves are a little thinner than what I've seen before, that, hey, I'm here. Even though I lost the first set, watch out because I'm here to play.
Definitely.
But I don't care for wearing black on a tennis outfit.
Well, she had fishnet too under the midriff section. Too.
She still looked good. Again,
she does look good. Bravo to her. It's tough getting in shape after having a kid. So good for her. Next match is still going is Kurumi Nara from Japan, the qualifier against Dalia Yukobovic. Currently, Nara's up 7-5 and 1-0 on serve.
So that match is still ongoing?
It's still ongoing. Either way, whoever goes through, Serena should cruise through the next round after that.
Yeah, I think Serena's looking at a primrose path. I don't know if that's the right word, but a walkable path into the third round. Again, the first set shook me up in the Serena match today. I was like, ooh, this girl, the girl that she played, Djachenko, she's a solid player, tall girl,
nice
big serve.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch. I like Djachenko's dress, by the way.
You like the skull?
Well, I don't like the skull. Thank you for mentioning that.
Because I always liked it. I like that brand, and he always complains about the skull.
Yeah, she had a nice white dress on, but the black skull right in the middle of it, I didn't really get that as well. But anyway, I guess it's just a different world these days with tennis outfits. But skulls on a tennis outfit, you know, maybe on a pirate ship, but I don't really get it on a tennis dress. But Djachenko was no joke, but I think Serena will have an easier time with her next round match than she did in this one.
Well, she was moving well, too. I mean, in the second and third set. Next match that's ongoing is Gato Moticone from Italy, another qualifier. She is playing Sofia Kenin from the USA. They're currently playing. It's 6-3 Kenin in the first set and 5-4 in the second set, and they're on serve. And this is a match that we're actually waiting for because Andreescu's playing on the other side.
A lot of people gave us a lot of grief about not giving Andreescu a whole lot of love heading into this tournament. And even on the hard court tournaments after she won, was it Indian Wells?
Yes, I didn't know she had a tear. I heard the commentator said she actually had a tear in her shoulder. That's why she pulled out of Miami.
Yeah, and again, it's not that we don't give Andreescu a lot of love. It's that she's still very young, and having grown up around the game and coached the game, it's very tough for someone very young to step into one of these majors and make a lot of noise, because after all, the bigger players sometimes don't even show up 100% at tournaments like Indian Wells and Miami. I'm not saying that happened.
I disagree with you, Justin. You keep bringing up the age. No, for women, the age really doesn't matter. I mean, whether they're 18, 19, 20, 25, 26. The reason I didn't pick Andreescu is not because of her age, it's just because she hasn't played any clay matches.
Okay, I'm calling your bluff on that, Carla.
In men's, it matters.
Okay, no, we're not talking about men's, and I'm talking about women's right now. Give me one player Andreescu's age, or even close to it, that's dominant right now. Osaka's 22, Andreescu's
21.
Okay, how old is Andreescu?
18, 19?
Okay. So what? A couple years different? She's got a couple years.
2-3 years. You're telling me is a big difference?
Give me another player besides Osaka, who, by the way, is 3 years older than the girl. Give me another one.
As far as what?
That's great. That's great.
You've got Vondrousova that's starting to make noise.
But you're telling me that it's not the same this day and age when it is the same. People are blooming later.
Ashley Barty's what? 22, 23?
Has she won a major?
She's come close. People talk about her.
And you're talking shooting from the side of the hip. That doesn't make any sense.
We had Osaka, who is 21, who won last year, which means she was 20.
Okay, so now you're on the Andreescu bandwagon?
I'm not. No, you're not understanding. I'm saying the reason I don't pick her is not because of her age. To me, the age doesn't matter. To me, it's because she hasn't played any clay matches. That's it. She's
young. She jumped into the limelight. There's not a lot of players that have had, let's say, a plethora of YouTube videos to study her game. I can guarantee you there are now.
Sure, clay is a different story. I know we had a viewer that said, well, she won the French Open junior doubles. And I always say, well, juniors is a different story from Grand Slams. And I don't think Andreescu is going to be as dominant on clay. I was watching her match. She's currently playing against, Buskova, and it's 4-all on serve, and she doesn't look like she did on the hard court.
I don't think Andreescu makes it past the first week, if even makes it past the day.
I agree with you on that, but I'm talking about the age thing. I don't know why you bring up
Well, just give me another 18, 19-year-old that's really hot right now. You said it's not the same. Well, give me another one.
Well, you just got a 16-year-old that just beat her first
the French girl Perry.
But she's 16, so you're telling me...
But this is one match. I don't see how anybody says because Andreescu won Indian Wells, a women's premier, that all of a sudden she's supposed to be the favorite in any tournament.
No one said
until she proves it over the long haul grinds it out
No
across the
one
board.
said she's the favorite, but they said she can do well. I don't think she'll do well here. I think she'll do well.
Is she going to win this match today?
She should, but I don't think she's going to beat Kenin.
All right, anyway.
Just because she hasn't played clay tournaments, not because of her age. Kenin's another young girl as well.
Disagree. I'm not hating on Andreescu. I just haven't seen enough from her to make her the next best thing. You used to say Shapovalov would be the next thing. You used to say Alexander Dolgopolov used to be the next best thing.
You used to say baby Federer Dimitrov, which, look at that, he's close to his 30s. Hello.
Anyway, we're going to spend 20 minutes on talking about some girl that has never even proved herself outside of winning one tournament.
You shouldn't bring someone's age up. That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Okay. We know that women mature much younger than the guys. Fact.
Anyways, thoughts on that?
That's a fact.
Thoughts on that? Why is everyone jumping on Andreescu because of one hard court tournament?
I'm not jumping on her bandwagon. Not for clay. No, definitely not. Next match she's playing is Sue Shea. She is playing Victoria Golubic, and Sue Shea has won the first set 6-4, and they just started the second set.
I like Sue Shea. I totally dislike the two hands on both sides. She's a fighter. She's a good competitor. She has great court conduct. But it's hard for me to watch anyone that strikes the ball with a two-handed forehand and a two-handed backhand.
I have to agree with you on that. Yes. Andrea Pekovic defeated Alison Riss today in 3 sets. Alison Riss had won the first set.
She beat
Pekovic came back. Pekovic won.
Pekovic won. Okay.
Yes, your favorite player that dances.
Look,
she will face the winner of Sue Shea or Golubic.
I like Andrea Petkovic. Always have. She's fun. She could have been a lot better, I think, within her career. She had some injury issues. She does dance pretty good. She always knocks me on that. Has nothing to do with that whatsoever. She's a fun, vibrant player. I think she could have been a lot better, but I'm glad she won a round today.
Same here. Danielle Collins defeats the mother, Tatiana Maria, 6-0, 6-2, and there's another bagel.
How good does Collins do moving forward, though, given that she's going to face Ashley Barty next?
It's a rematch. They played at, I thought they played at the Australian Open, did they not? Or they played the tournament before this on clay, and Barty took it pretty easily, I thought. I don't think she'll beat Barty.
That's going to be
6-3, 6-3, by the way.
That's going to be a good match. I have Barty on my fantasy team. Much respect to Collins, but I hope Barty wins.
Next match, the number 30 seed, Busarnescu, goes down to Ekaterina Alexandrova from Russia, 6-4, 6-4, and will face Samantha Stosur, the veteran from Australia, who defeated Barbara Strykova, 6-2, 7-6.
That's two borderline upsets right there. Number one, Alexandrova takes out a very good Busarnescu, the Romanian player. And then Samantha Stosur takes out Barbara Strykova, who's a wonderful player. We can't forget, though, that Samantha Stosur has made a French Open final. I think she lost to Francesca Schiavone that French Open, if I remember correctly.
She did.
Yes. So very good to see Stosur here. Since we started this show a year ago or so, a little bit less than a year ago, I have been laughed at by hers truly
I'm still laughing.
So many times.
Still laughing.
Look, I picked Stosur as my unseeded player to win a round. And
you did?
No, I usually do.
Okay.
The one time that I don't, she wins a round. So good job for Stosur. The last time Stosur made news, she was at the Australian Open, won doubles, and her own country didn't even give her TV time for her trophy presentation. They turned it to a soap opera and just shunned her out of the trophy presentation. But Stosur, great job here. Good job winning a round. And Stosur can get into the third round. I think Stosur will. I think Stosur beats Alexandrova.
Could be. Bosova Aliona from Spain. The qualifier defeats the veteran Vera Sabanareva 6-4, 6-2 and will meet Sorana Krstajian in 3 sets. By the way, we watched this match. This was the match that Petra Kvitova was supposed to play. I did not enjoy watching this match. Her opponent, Slovenia, had a match point and double faulted. This was a screeching fest by Krstajian. Horrible to watch. I was so annoyed watching this.
Well said. Generally, we have a segment we do on the show where we break out our SLI meter, which stands for Screech Level Indicator. We had a warning that we may have to break it out, but we realized that the warning was only because of one player. The meter did not come out on this match because it was only one player, being Kirsty. That was
that's how they say her name.
She was grunting so loud where the meter was tempted to come out, but her opponent was not grunting or screeching that loud, so the meter stayed put up. But this one had the potential to be a screech off. If Kirsty was playing Azarenka or Sharapova, then we would have broken out the meter. But thankfully that didn't happen. But yeah, she's a really intense screecher.
Next match that we have is Brady, who finished last night. She won, by the way, and her COG won last night. They won today, but it was a match that was suspended.
So look, Polona Hercog with a huge biceps has an opportunity to get into the third round as well. She's going to face off against Jennifer Brady, and I wish the best for Jennifer Brady.
She got her first round.
Yeah, and I predicted that Brady would get her first round win here, but I think her COG will end up being too much. Again, I have Sloane Stephens in my fantasy team and as one of my finalists. So I think that Sloane Stephens, because she will beat Sorribes Tormo, as you always say, I think her COG will beat Brady, and then I think Stephens will beat her COG and head into the fourth round. Prediction, watch out.
Next match, Rebecca Peterson from Sweden defeated Parimat Julia Putintseva 6-3, 7-5, and will face off Danik Vecik, who took out Sasonova from Russia 6-2, 6-4. I expected Putintseva to win that match, by the way, but
all right,
they didn't show that match, so I wasn't able to watch a few points there.
Two things here. Number one, recently we've had a new viewer from Sweden, and I want to say his name is Peter. I think I have that right. I'll tell you. I want to waste too much time there. Peter Dixstria, and I hope I have that pronounced right, from Sweden. And all of a sudden, we have players jumping in that are winning matches from Sweden. So I'm sure Peter is happy about that in Sweden. However, I think that Peterson's run will come to an end when she faces off against Donna Vekic. Reiterate this, though, and I don't want to get into anybody's personal business, but Donna Vekic is was Stanislaw Wawrinka's girlfriend. And I think there was some type of personal life split between Wawrinka and his children and so forth. And I won't get into all that.
Let's not, because there's a lot of players out there that have some personal stuff.
Yeah, so all I'm trying to say...
And some top ones, too.
I won't get into all that, but all I'm trying to say is Vekic and Wawrinka are no longer...
That's a good thing.
And maybe it's...
I didn't really like them
and maybe it's good for Vekic, but there was a lot of drama
I didn't like them, too.
With Vekic and Kyrgios and Wawrinka and everything else during this whole personal deal. We won't get into that, but hopefully Vekic does well, and hopefully Peterson does well. Who do you have winning the match between Vekic?
Definitely Vekic.
So do I. I think Vekic moves forward.
Johanna Konta defeats Antonia Lochner from Germany 6-4, 6-4, and will face the American wildcard Lauren Davis, who defeated Pliskova's sister Christina 6-2, 6-4. She won that match. Good for Davis. I think that Konta will be too strong for her in the next match. Konta has more experience. She's the higher ranked player. She's taller. She's stronger. She'll win that match.
I wonder why it is that Carolina Pliskova's sister, which is Christina, I wonder why they're not on the same level.
Different playing styles. Her sister is a lefty, number one. Christina's a lefty, and she serves and volleys. It's a different style of play.
I wish the best. I wish the best for both of the Pliskovas.
Hey, but they both made it to professional tennis. If I was a parent, I'd be happy.
I'd be absolutely happy.
Yeah.
I think that Konta, I think this was her first main draw win at the French Open ever, I think. If I have that wrong, let me know.
Yeah, she's lost at the first round. Yes.
So I think Konta has a good shot of moving into the third round. She's going to face the winner between Kuzmova and Bertens.
Right.
Right?
Yes, Kuzmova defeated Cornet, the French woman, 6-4, 6-3, and Bertens beat Parmentier 6-3, 6-4.
Everyone jumped on the Bertens bandwagon. And
a lot of people have her winning.
She has been a good player for a long time. I don't want to. Let me retract that statement and say a lot of people have picked Bertens to either win this tournament or to make a final. Now she has had some deep French Open runs before. She has quarterfinals. I think even a semifinal at one point. I may have that off, but I think I'm correct. But I still think that Konta, if she meets Bertens, has a really good shot to beat Bertens. What do you think? I think
I think Bertens will be the stronger player.
Okay, we'll see. I'm gonna
because Konta really, I'm sure she surprised herself doing well on clay.
We'll see.
Next match, Elise Mertens from Belgium defeated Tamara Sidansek in 3 sets and will face off the 16-year-old from France, Diane Perry, who defeated Vera Lapko 6-2, 6-4. One-handed backhand, 16 years old. We did a little bit of research on her. She said she started hitting a one-handed backhand because of Maresmo. I guess it inspired her to do that. Her lifetime prize money, $32,000, where she just won more than ever. $51,000 is for the first round.
Good for her.
First time for the youngest 16-year-old to make it past the first round, by the way, in this Grand Slam.
We can't forget, when you skip the match, we had Shelby Rogers that won.
Yes, you're right.
And then we have Carla Suarez Navarro that moved on as well, beating a very, very solid young player in Diana Yastremska. Some of you had Yastremska on the fantasy team. So Suarez Navarro against Shelby Rogers. I think Suarez Navarro moves forward.
Well, Suarez Navarro, you're right. I'm sorry for skipping. Did beat Yastremska 6-0 in the third set.
Real quickly, again, when we do these major tournaments and we have 164 matches to go through, sometimes we push long on time. I think someone commented yesterday, can you give us timestamps? We're pushing 30 minutes and we're still going through the women's draw, so very sorry about that if it's causing you too much time. When we get done with the women's, we're going to move to the men's, and if you have any ideas how to timestamp, someone mentioned that, and I didn't even know what that meant. So please advise us more. So let's push through this women's, because a lot of these matches here are kind of irrelevant moving forward. But the girl...
We did have to mention
the girl that you mentioned, Perry, is a 16-year-old French wildcard whose idol is Marismo, who hits a one-handed backhand, who won her first-round match. and I think she's ranked like, what, 457 in the world or something?
Yes, 457.
So a really good win for her. Unfortunately, she's going to have to meet Mertens, and the next round, I think Mertens will be too much for her.
Agree.
Okay.
Just for moving time, Manila came through against Pavlyuchenkova, and will play Sevastova, who won today.
Sevastova's tricky. I think Sevastova wins that match.
And then Diaz defeated Albi, and Wozniacki went down today to the youngster Kudermetova. She was up, by the way. She won 6-2 in the first set.
Yeah, a quick thought about
6-0,
Wozniacki.
6-0.
Hopefully Wozniacki is well. She has been a veteran for a long time. She deals with some arthritis issues.
Rheumatoid arthritis, yes.
And I know some of this type feeling. There's only so much you can do when every step that you take is painful. I know this feeling, and it's very cumbersome. Hopefully Wozniacki does well. But I'll ask all of you a question. Is this the last that we see from Wozniacki at a very high level? You answer the question, let us know. We'll discuss it during the off-season, or not the off-season, but during some topics after the French Open. Yes. All right, don't forget about Kaya Kanepi down here that took out Julia Gerges. Kanepi is a lights-out player as well. And Kanepi will face off against Petra Martic, which is a big match in the second round.
No, she will not. She will face against Zhang.
Oh, Zhang, yeah.
Zhang.
And then Martic plays Mladenovic, which is a big match.
Yes.
All right. So let's finish up with the women's, and which we did, and let's jump into the men's draw top half. And again, starting tomorrow, the next day as we move forward, the matches will shrink by half. So hopefully the shows won't be as long for you.
All right, first match was Novak Djokovic, which we watched. He played Hurkacz. We thought, well, maybe Hurkacz has a chance to at least take a set. Did not happen. He won 6-4, 6-2, 6-2. Made Hurkacz look like he just started tennis, honestly.
Hurkacz, by the way, is no joke. Hurkacz is a big-time player.
Well, he didn't look big-time today.
Because he was playing one of the greatest of all time, number one.
Yes.
I can guarantee you, though, Novak Djokovic sent a message to Rafael Nadal today. Nadal played, in my opinion, a nobody.
Don't say nobody, but he plays someone that's not on his level.
In the grand scheme of things,
mm-hmm.
Novak Djokovic played a much better player than Nadal played. Anybody disagree?
No, I don't disagree.
Hurkacz is a very good player.
Yes, and he will be. He's only 22, 6'5", big guy. But
look, I don't buy into the whole next gen cheesiness. But
was
Hurkacz
he even
is
in the conversation of next gen? I don't think so.
Yeah, he is. He's 22, and
I don't even follow that.
He's better than the Kyrgioses. He's better than the Taylor Fritzes. He's better than the Jared Donaldsons. He's better than. I would say Di Minor, but I think he's even better than Di Minor. I think he's better than Zverev that can't find a way to win a match anymore.
Yes, agree.
But Djokovic sent a strong message to the entire locker room today, and that was, hey, go ahead and give me Hurkacz in the first round, and I'm going to destroy him. And that's what he did. He looked good. Nole was serving much harder than I've seen him in a while.
Yeah, he was actually whacking the ball.
He looked really good. And I think because Sam Querrey pulling out as potentially his next opponent, the lucky loser, Laxinen from Switzerland, took out Pedro Martinez. So now Novak Djokovic is going to face Laxinen, a lucky loser in the second round, which I can assure you the beating will be even worse than it was against Hurkacz. And Djokovic is happy right now.
Should be worse, yes.
Isn't Djokovic happy?
I'm sure he is. His interviews, he sounded really happy.
I would hope so.
Next match, Jamul Manur from Spain goes down to Salvatore Caruso, the qualifier from Italy, in 4 sets, and will face off Gilles Simon, who took out Sergei Stapkansky from Ukraine in 3 sets. So anybody out there who had Munar, well, so sorry to disappoint you.
I'll be honest, I do 2 fantasy groups, one here with you guys, and I do another one online, and I had Munar because I had to choose an unseeded player, so I lost him there, but I did not have Munar in this group. And I never like to pick Munar too much because he screeches louder than Azarenka and Sharapova combined. But at least I don't have to watch it again. But I lost Munar, but not on this fantasy team. And I think Gilles Simon will ultimately end up meeting Novak Djokovic in the 3rd round.
Agreed.
And I think Djokovic will land safely into the 2nd week in the 4th.
Totally agree. Jan-Lennard Struff takes out Denis Shapovalov in 3 sets and will face off Radu Albad, who took the American tennis Sangren in 4 sets. Good job, Struff. He said that he was going to win They did say Shapovalov cut his practice short. He was not feeling well. Either way, I don't think that matters. Struff is the better player on clay.
So, Carla,
very
nice to have you here today.
Justin,
how does it feel to have Shapovalov, the player you thought would be the next #1 in the world, can't win a match either? How does that feel, Carla?
Well, I actually picked him to lose in clay. Grass court, hard court, different story. Anyways, let's go.
She gets tested when she can't pick a player that's right.
Pete Sampras lost at the French Open many times.
What does that have to do with Denis Shapovalov?
Clay's not his surface, obviously.
Have you ever met a woman that when she says something, if it's not right, she'll just say she never said that, or she'll say this, and then when she gets beaten, she's like, "No, what are you talking about?"
If you go back to my videos, I always say Shapovalov will not do well in clay. Always say it. Anyways, next match, Lucas Rosal from the Czech Republic, the lucky loser, goes down to Lloyd Harris from South Africa in 5 sets, and will meet Chorich, who took out Badin.
Let's go.
I was worried.
I'm a big Borna Coric fan. Always have been. This is going to be my prediction for the 4th round. Borna Coric against Novak Djokovic. I think Djokovic will win the match, but I think that will be Djokovic's first interesting match. All right, let's go. I'm getting points every time Coric wins. Let's get it done, Borna Coric. Come on.
Okay, well, let's go down. Dominic Thiem right now is on a battle with Tony Paul. He won the first set 6-4, lost the second one 4-6, and now they are on the tiebreaker 6-6.
I don't even see where TM is on here.
Down here.
Oh, I got it. Okay, yeah.
Down there.
All right, so it's really shocking to me that Tommy Paul...
I said he would lose the first week, Thiem, by the way.
You did say that.
Mm-hmm.
I have TM on my fantasy team. Do you?
No.
You sure about that?
I didn't pick him.
Okay, so look, I'm still shocked that Tommy Paul took a set.
He's a 22-year-old American.
Carla does not have TM.
I didn't have faith in TM. Not even in my other fantasy group. No.
So, some of us have TM going to the final. I don't, but some of us do. Hopefully he pulls this match out.
Next match, we go down. Bublik Alexander defeated Moleka Rudolph from Germany, the qualifier, in 4 sets, and will face off Pablo Cueva, who took out Maxime Janvier in 3 sets. That's below that.
Okay. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. So she was doing a little research. I was writing all the ending, and she's busting out results. Let's go, Carla. Get it done.
Well, there's currently some matches playing, so I'm watching them as we're doing the show.
Look, my upset alert for the top half of the draw is Nicolas Jarry beating Del Potro. I look forward to that match, by the way. 2 big boys, big servers, great games. I think Nicolas Jarry beats Del Potro.
Next match, upset. Another upset we had, not really. Francis Tiafoe from the USA, the 32C, goes down to Filip Krajinovic in 5 sets. He loses the 5th set 6-0, but we know that he was sick. He was throwing up a lot.
And by the way, Carbayas Baena beat Moeller. I thought Moeller was related to Gilles Moeller.
No.
Gilles Moeller was from the Netherlands, wasn't he?
Yes.
Made a Wimbledon semifinal, I think, once or twice, right?
He only plays Wimbledon, usually.
Yeah, I like Gilles Moeller. I like the guy, but I thought there was some relation here. There was not. Krajinovic, by the way, was another Serbian player that I liked a lot. And I think there's like 4 or 5 Serbian players that are moving forward.
We had a viewer make a comment.
Krajinovic, Kekmanovic,
yes.
Jiri, Djokovic.
That's it. Those were the 4 for the men today.
That's pretty good. That's incredible.
Stan Wawrinka goes through in 4 sets against Kovalik and will face Christian Garin, who took out Opelka. Going back to this, we were talking about an article, right? About the big giants dominating tennis. Well, this guy, Opelka, is a big server. Didn't do much against Garin.
Yeah, if you missed yesterday's show, pause it here, watch yesterday's show. We read an article and printed it out that a writer wrote about the future of men's tennis. And that was, the future of men's tennis was going to be 7-footers or 6-teners serving with missiles and not even getting into rallies and having 81 aces between the 2 of them. Again, this just proves that was way off base.
It's way off.
Way off base. I don't know what
he thought that maybe if he he probably just looked at that tournament and said, oh well, maybe that's that's tennis.
And by the way, this matchup coming between Stan the Man Wawrinka and Christian Garin
will be a tough match.
Will be a good battle.
Yes,
if you are able to watch this one, I would recommend doing so. I think Wawrinka wins it. And hopefully his emotional status with the breakup with Vekic is okay.
He's fine.
But Garen, I don't think will overcome Wawrinka, but he could.
And the only reason I'm going to mention this, breaking news, Grigor Dimitrov said he's going to play, or try to play, for 10 more years.
10 more years out of Dimitrov? How old is Dimitrov, like 31?
No, I don't know.
Is he 29?
I think he's late 20s.
Late 20s?
Yeah.
He's been around a while, so here's a question. Where did you hear that? An article
I read it today, yes.
Okay, so...
It was an interview they gave him after his first round.
Look, Grigor Dimitrov, as well as any other human being, can play tennis for the rest of their life, and that's why we love the game.
Yes.
We can play it when we're 95. We can play it if we are handicapped. I have watched a lot of great tennis at major levels where people are really putting great tennis out there, playing wheelchair tennis. It's wonderful to see. But I think Grigor Dimitrov...
He's 28 years old, so that means he would play till he's 38.
Yeah, I think Grigor Dimitrov will play 10 more years, but at what level? I mean, will he be playing challengers, wild cards? Will he happen to go through qualies? I don't know. But based upon his trajectory now, I think it'll be tough for him 10 years from now to still be getting into tournaments. He hasn't been playing very well for a while.
Very true. Okay, next match we have is Tsonga, the veteran, took out Peter Goyowicz in 4 sets. He looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. I was happy to see him play
Looked a little bit more fit. Tsonga
will play Nishikori next round. Tough match.
I think Tsonga can beat Nishikori. Do I think he will? If I had to bet on it, I'd probably still go with Nishikori. But Tsonga can win this match. Tsonga upset me a lot of years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when Tsonga beat Federer at Wimbledon when Federer was up 2 sets. So we can't forget that Tsonga is a seasoned veteran that can upset someone, especially on his home turf. Watch out for that match. That's another good one.
Alex de Minaur from Australia, the 21 seed, takes out Bradley Klahn from the USA and will face Pablo Carreno Busta from Spain, who took out João Sousa in 3 sets.
She had Sousa on her fantasy team online. I don't think it was on this one, but I was like, why would you pick Sousa in the first round?
Because Carreno Busta usually plays well on hard court, not on clay.
That was like the worst pick I've ever heard. I told her that last night. I didn't even realize that. I was like, you picked Sousa? Not saying he's a bad player, but I'm like, how are you going to pick him on a fantasy team in a competition to even win a round? And she was like, no, you'll see, he'll win a round. What happened? Yes. Negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern was full. Did not happen.
The high caller, Benoit Paire, takes out Marius Copillo, 6'4", 5'7", 6'0", 6'1", and will face Herbert Pierre Hughes, who took out Daniil Medvedev
in
match 5
today.
sets. We watched this early in the morning, and I said, I can't believe it.
Big match today.
I can't believe that Medvedev, after all he did on clay, loses in the first round.
Look, Herbert has a wonderful game and a wonderful net game. Double specialist. Herbert played, in my opinion, the match of his life today, and he had the crowd of a lifetime behind him on his home turf. Absolutely great match. Watched every ball strike here. I couldn't help but to find myself rooting for Herbert. He did an extremely good job. Medvedev is an extremely good player. I don't care for Medvedev's court conduct or his overall attitude. He's a feisty player, and you can see it in his body language. And unfortunately, I think that was part of Medvedev's demise today. Good job for Herbert. I think that Herbert will get beaten by Benoit Paire. Benoit the fly collar Pierre. But you never know. If his collar's hiked up high enough and he can glide through the air good enough, then Pierre, I think, will beat Herbert. But if his collar, Benoit Pierre's collar, is not flying super high, I think Herbert has a chance.
We'll
home field advantage? Don't count out. Wait a minute. Benoit Pierre's French too.
Yes, correct. Oh. So the crowds will be cheering for both.
Yeah, good match. I'm going to watch that one. Yes. Collars and all.
Another player that goes down, the 15th seed from Georgia, Nicolas Bashvili, loses to Londero from Argentina in straight sets. And Londero will face the veteran Gasquet, who took out Alexander Zverev's brother, Misha Zverev.
Poll question. Is Misha Zverev, i.e., Sasha or Alexander Zverev's older brother, Zverev, is Misha equally as good as Alexander now?
No, still not.
I mean,
I think he's an older brother.
They're both,
and he's a serving volleyer. Clay is definitely not his surface. He'll do better at the Wimbledon, I suspect.
We'll see.
Next match, Corentin Moutet from France, the wild card, will face off Guido Pella They took out Guido Andriossi and Vatutin Alei, another qualifier.
Irrelevant for me.
Open, very open draw.
Very open down here, bottom. The most
very open for Nadal.
Two dangerous players down here, I guess, just to win the next round or two before they face off against Nadal would be Kekmanovic, the Serbian player. Talented, but he will inevitably get defeated by Nadal. You have Goffin down there, but I think Kekmanovic has a chance against Goffin in the next round.
And he came through today against Kudla.
And then Guido Pella is a really strong player as well. I didn't go with Pella because I think Nadal is too close to him, but Pella could very well make a fourth round.
This whole section is open. It's just open for him.
Look, in comparison to Djokovic's draw, no one can tell me.
Well, the first match
Nadal has the easiest draw I've ever seen. Look, there's no such thing as an easy draw. These are all elite professionals. There's no such thing as an easy draw. But on paper, based upon competitors, as we walk through the tournament, Nadal's draw is a golden path.
The first few rounds are easy until we get to the semifinals, right?
Golden path for Nadal.
Until we get to the quarterfinals, semifinals. Djokovic's toughest match was the first round, and he'll sail through all the way to the final.
Yeah, but Djokovic was handed her catch in the first round.
That's it.
But wait a minute. Sam Querrey was going to be next, but he withdrew.
Nothing for Djokovic.
But he's a threat though.
No, he's
then
not.
You have Jen-Leonard Struff that's right below him.
Who could lose
then you have Borna Koric that would potentially meet him in the fourth round.
He could lose.
Then you've got Lajovic, Zverev, TM, Verdasco,
yeah, but they're all facing each
Monfils,
other. They're all facing each other. By the time they get to Djokovic,
on Nadal's side,
poor Federer and poor Tsitsipas.
Nadal basically has a Federer and Tsitsipas.
Tsitsipas and Federer got the tough side, honestly.
All right, moving forward as we try to end this show today. Again, pardon the length. It gets shorter as we move forward. One of the picks I'm still worried about that has not played yet is on my women's side. I have Daria Kasatkina. Are you still thinking that my pick is a bad one, or do you think Kasatkina will show up?
It's a bad one.
Let's go, Kasatkina.
By the way, Chardy and Edmund are still playing. They're on the fifth set.
Serena Williams, we talked about this. Serena's fitness and outfit topic real quick.
She looks good.
Serena Williams looks really good. The first set she played was shaky.
Her draw opens up, by the way.
Yeah, her draw is open, so I'm not doubting our Serena Williams pick to win this tournament. What are your thoughts there? What are your thoughts on her fitness? I think it looks much better. Carla?
Much better.
What do you think about her outfit? I give it a C on a scale of A to F. I give it a C.
I wouldn't buy it, and nor would I wear it if it was free.
Does anyone care about wearing black on the tennis court? If I go out and play a tennis match or coach or teach, the last thing I ever want to put on is something black. Number one, it's hot. But number two, it just makes me look like I'm going to a funeral or something when I want to go out and have the crowd be entertained by the tennis match that we're playing, right? What do you think about wearing black on a tennis court? I don't get it.
I wear it during spring or fall or when it's cold. I do wear it. By the way, Andreescu lost the first set.
Oh! Look, I'm not hating on Andreescu, but I'm just proving my point here, okay?
But Kenin is on the third set.
Don't jump on bandwagons too soon. Serena's calf muscles looked a little thin. Hopefully she continues to work the legs because she'll need those legs as this match proceeds. Again, I know she's had some knee issues and maybe she's had to lay off the leg exercises.
Probably. And she, her outfit, she did say that it said in French, Mother Queen. So I guess she calls herself a queen. Yeah. She is the queen of tennis.
I don't get into all that queen stuff. We're out there to play the game. Let's get stuff done. Save that queen stuff for Instagram or whatever you do. Look, I'm watching gladiators, male or female. You want to come out and talk about I'm the
gladiator.
Queen? I'm out.
Okay.
I love Serena. She's one of my top athletes, if not the best athlete of all time, pound for pound, spanning men or women.
I let my daughter watches her a lot, Liliana, and I tell her, watch her because she's a fighter. People put her down and she fights back, and that's what you need to do in life.
Love her, but the whole queen thing, I don't really get that.
Well, she said all women are queens.
Off the court.
All women are queens.
Restaurant.
I could agree with that.
Oh, I get that too. I
could agree with that.
But I think it's not really. I don't know. I'll stay out of that one because I love Serena Williams. But the whole queen thing is kind of like next gen for the men. It's just cheesy. Just cheesy.
Okay.
The greatest.
So Roger Federer is not the king?
That would be kind of cheesy, too. I don't think he's ever called himself the king.
No, other people call him that.
All right, moving forward. Francis Tiafoe loses in 5 sets and a bagel 6-0 in the 5th. I'm going to ponder this or pontificate, whatever you want to call it, here for a second. Tiafoe was visibly sick. He was throwing up on the sidelines, per se, as he was changing sides and gave up a 6-0 5th. Okay, first and foremost, I hope Francis Tiafoe is well and recovers quickly, number one. I do like Tiafoe. I don't care for his LeBron imitations and ripping his shirt off and all that other cheesiness. But let me just talk about throwing up on the sidelines and what real champions do when they throw up in the middle of a match, right? They find another gear. Let's talk about a couple. Number one, Michael Jordan. For me, one of my top 3 athletes of all time. Serena, Jordan, Mike Tyson. I can go on. Muhammad Ali, Roger Federer. I can go on. Does anybody remember the playoff game where Michael Jordan was throwing up on the sidelines? He even made shoes called the Flu Game 12s, which I love. I love Jordan shoes. But anyway, the Flu Game 12s. Dropped like 50 points, playoff game, must-win scenario, boom, boom, boom. Throwing up and everything. Pippen was holding him off the court, or carrying him off the court. You going back in? Yeah, getting it done, draining things. Let's go, right? That's how he gets down, all right? So he threw up, won a championship that year. Number 2, do you remember Pete Sampras throwing up on the court playing, was it Alex Correia?
Alex Correia from Spain.
Furthermore, Pete Sampras found out his coach died at Wimbledon playing...
Australian.
Who was he playing?
Jim
Courier.
1995.
Won that match. So I understand we get sick, and I'm not driving that home, but if we are so showy as to rip our shirts off, I'm the best, but then you get a little sick, I'm not saying a little sick, maybe it was the worst sickness ever, and you just felt like absolute garbage. But there are champions that get to this point, and they find a way to push through. What are your thoughts on that? Do champions find a way, or do champions sometimes throw up and give up a bagel in the 5th? What are your thoughts on that? All right? Moving forward so we can end this show because we don't want to go over too much time out of your day. Carly, you ready? 12 rapid-fire questions, as I always love to ask you and all of you at the same time. If you're just tuning into this, the goal is to answer these questions relatively quickly without too much thought. Carla, you must watch the camera and not look at my questions as she does not see these. You ready?
Okay.
12 rapid-fire questions.
I'm nervous. Okay.
Here we go. Ready? Woo! Let's go, Ric Flair. Woo! Woo!
Okay. No.
All right. Rapid-fire questions. Is Caroline Wozniacki done competing at the highest level?
Yes.
2. Would you wear Serena's outfit on the court?
No.
Number 3. After Roger Federer's first round match, do you think he will win this tournament?
He has a good chance.
Yes or no?
No.
Number 4. Are you worried about Kvitova's injury come Wimbledon time?
Yes.
Number 5. Did Benoit Pierre's collar help him win today?
No.
Will Kei Nishikori's fly collar help him in beating Sanga?
No.
Did Yulia, a.k.a. Potty Mouth Putintseva, lose as a result of negative karma from previous outbursts on court leading up to the French Open?
Yes.
So her mouth got her in trouble.
Yes. I mean, you can't behave like that.
What goes around comes around.
Yes.
All right. Number 8. Does Danielle Collins have a shot to beat Ashley Barty?
Yes.
Don't think too much. Number 9. Who wins between Taylor Fritz and Bernard Tomic?
Taylor Fritz. I have it picked already.
And does it matter either way?
No.
Do you think that Bernard Tomic's dad will DDT Taylor Fritz if he loses?
No, because I don't think he's allowed there.
Boom! All right. Number 10. Rafael Nadal headed onto the court for the second time and banged his head into something. Wimbledon, bang, in the roof. This one, camera, corner off the side of his face. Should he pay more attention when walking?
Yes, because that could have been really bad.
All right. Number 11. Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal have sent strong messages to one another with their first round matches. Djokovic, by the way, beating a very strong player and the likes of Hurkacz. Who sent the more intense message to the other?
Djokovic.
Agreed. Number 12. If you could face off against any pro player, men or women, who would you like to play?
Federer.
I would too. I would get destroyed, but I still want to fight against him.
Yeah, Federer and Serena would be the winners.
I still want a shot, though. Still want that shot.
Yes.
We talked about that yesterday. Players and musicians and
Federer and Serena would be the two people I'd love to play against.
Bonus question. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Bonus question. Family Feud, final round type deal. You ready?
Okay.
Carla. This is for Carla. Carla, you turned 40 years old on August the 8th, the same day Federer was born. Mm-hmm. Not the year, same date. Mm-hmm. You have 5 children. Mm-hmm. Name 2 things you would love to do as life after 40 begins.
Stay in shape and help my daughters and sons accomplish everything. I don't know.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I say the same thing all the time. I like for the kids to reach their potential in tennis.
I thought one of your answers would be finally beating me on the tennis court instead of just talking about it.
I beat you already.
It's not true. It's not true.
You need to stop.
All right, real quickly, last topic as we end. End of the show topic, here we go. Follow this one. Often, Carla and I meet new students, new tennis players, or just players that we bump into and discuss or maybe play doubles with, or that have been coached for many years. Some people we meet have been coached for a decade or longer, and they can only hit forehands. Sometimes we get into conversations with a lot of different people and teachers and students, and a lot of the coaches and students indicate that that's all they teach or that's all they've ever been taught, okay? Some of them use 2 hands on forehand volleys.
You mean backhand volleys?
Or both. I've seen them use both. The Su Wei Shea, the pro player, 2 hands on either side.
I think it's a shame that they show kids how to volley with 2 hands, especially with their teens already.
So here's the context. We meet people time and time again, especially here in the United States, that have been coached for a long time, that have no backhand volley, can't do anything but hit forehands, right? Here's the question. How big of a problem is this? And is it only a problem in U.S. tennis?
I believe it's a problem in the U.S. tennis.
It's a huge problem.
I don't think that the European coaches are telling the kids, hit the 2-handed backhand volley.
And don't worry about hitting your backhand. Just run around it and hit the inside-out forehand.
From what I heard
all day.
commentators say on the Pro Tour, that's what the European players do, mostly hit backhands. And that's why a lot of them have solid backhands. Well, there's Djokovic. There's the example. How great his backhand is.
It's a huge problem. If you cannot handle your left wing, your backhand side, and you're always running around it, and you cannot take your hand off the racket for your for your backhand, and have to, you can't even reach out and hit anything. You're right here. You have, in my opinion, no shot.
Most rallies are backhands now. Look at the game. Watch the matches.
What are your thoughts? How big of a problem is it? And maybe it's just in the U.S. from a coaching standpoint that. A lot of students these days pay no attention to the backhand, pay no attention to volleys, and they just want to whack forehands, number 1. Number 2, does anyone actually believe in this theory that a lot of coaches these days, we're not 2 of those for sure, that believes everything is forehands? Does anybody believe that? Number 3, is this just lazy coaching? In other words, do we just want to ooh and ah the parents that are watching that probably don't know a lot about the game anyway? Because their child can hit 1 shot and then they think they're great when ultimately they can't hit any other shots? Is it just lazy coaching and the goal of the coaches to, look how good I'm doing with your child because they can whack 1 shot, but when they play points with someone that can hit it the other way and find out weaknesses, is it just a way to ooh and ah parents? In other words, I can hit a forehand now. Okay, I've coached your child or student well, I've done my job. Do you get what I'm saying? Is it lazy coaching?
It is lazy coaching, and there are a lot of parents out there that don't know about tennis. Unless you've played the game for a long time, studied it, then most parents don't know about tennis.
If you can only hit 1 shot, you have no shot. If I'm warming up with you and I see that you can't hit a backhand, well, guess what I'm going to do with my first serve? It's going to the backhand. Guess what I'm going to do with my first shot? It's going to your backhand, and guess what the score will be? Bagel, bagel. That's a fact. For me, it's a huge problem. What are your thoughts? Okay? And ending quote of the day as usual. And here is the quote of the day. And by the way, a big shout out to Big Hit Sports International. And that is Michael Figgins, who sent us a picture of himself at Phillies Stadium in Philadelphia, headed to a Philadelphia Phillies game.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was at the game.
Well, he was at the stadium.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Well, he was on his way to Europe, so.
Well, I know stadiums. He was at Philly Stadium.
Okay. Maybe.
I've driven through there, and maybe I have the statue wrong, but it looked like Philly Stadium.
Okay.
It looked like it. I may be wrong. I shot from the hip on that one, but it looked like Philadelphia Stadium where the Phillies play. Anyway, maybe not. But he had the 5K tennis shirt on, representing. Headed to London with it. Let's go. Appreciate the pictures. Love that. Here's the quote, and I thought about writing him in there because he always gives us great quotes of the day. Okay? So, quote of the day. Here we go. The only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. Okay, let me explain. The only true wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. Here's what I mean by that. Has anyone ever met someone that thinks they know it all? A know-it-all? You know, they got an answer for everything. You know, hey, I saw this the other day. Oh, I got an answer for that. In other words, any question you ask, they're always got some answer for it. And most of the answers are just complete horse garbage. Horse crap, right? Has anyone ever met a know-it-all that knows the answer to everything? Anybody know a know-it-all?
I think the younger son just pointed to you.
Okay? Anyone know a know-it-all? Okay? Number 2. Let me give you an example of a college course I took, and this was my junior year in college. I had a professor. His name was Gerald Williams. Psychology, I think it was like 320, something like that. Anyway, so we had a test or a quiz one day, kind of a pop-up thing, and everybody's freaked out about it. And he writes a question on the board. It's some elaborate question, you know. And he's like, "Here's the question. I'm leaving. You know, put your answers on the desk, and I'll leave, and I'll let you know what your grades are tomorrow." And everybody's all freaked out. So the question, I'd never heard of the question, never seen the question, I had no idea what the question meant. So on my answer sheet, I wrote, "I don't know," and just turned it in and left. I was like, "Geez, I failed that. I never even heard of that in my life." Well, the next week we go in and get our papers, and he tells everyone in the class besides 2 people that everyone else failed miserably. And I'm thinking, well, I know I failed miserably because I just wrote, "I don't know." Come to find out that myself and one other person were the only people that passed the test. Why? Because it was a BS question. He wanted to find out who in his class was just a bunch of know-it-alls. So he asked the question with no answer, and the only people that wrote, "I don't know," actually answered the question right. Moral of the story is, there is nothing wrong with saying, "I don't know something." If you don't know something, you don't know it, keep your mouth shut, move forward, but don't look like the imbecile that always has something to say about something that they don't even know about, number 1, right? Number 3, on the Delphi maxims, or the Temple Oracle of Delphi, there's a couple things that are written, or there's a lot of the maxims actually, but one of them follows the same suit. Know thyself, nothing to excess. The same type thing here has been around for thousands of years. If you don't know it, shut up. And even if you do know it, it's probably best to still shut up. Here's another quick example for this. We were given 2 ears to listen with, right? And we were given 1 mouth to speak out of, okay? Therefore, we should listen twice as much as we speak. Know-it-alls tend to yap, 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 and don't listen, okay? Watch the yapping, keep your mouth shut. What did Will Rogers say? Never pass up an opportunity to keep your mouth shut, because it's a lot easier to let the cat out of the bag than it is to put it back in. Anybody disagree? Anyway, think before you speak is the moral of the story. Who needs a know-it-all? Just lend a helping hand if you don't know the answer. I don't know, but thank you for asking. All right? Think before you speak. Any thoughts? Moving forward. That's it. Hopefully the video quality is better, by the way. Sorry for the overall length. The first round of the majors are long. Thank you very much to Rajesh Kumar with all your technical help that Carla and I always ask you about. Thank you very much to BDog02 helping us get the stuff we need to make this show better. Much love to you, BDog. Let's go. Click like below, subscribe to our channel, please share our videos, and much love to all of you. Without you, it's not possible. The grind is here, and we will keep grinding it out and see you tomorrow. And now that we're ending the show, hopefully my son comes over here and hits stop on the camera.
He didn't know because you were talking.
But the lovely Carla always says adios,
Adios.
And we will see you tomorrow.
Adios.
Thank you, Chris, for turning the camera. I love my boy. He's a good one.